Israeli and Palestinian peace negotiators meet in Jerusalem Wednesday amid discontent on both sides. Israelis are protesting the government plan to release 104 Palestinian prisoners. 26 of them were released Tuesday as Israel's gesture of goodwill ahead of the talks. Palestinians are enraged at Israel's latest announcement that it will continue building new housing units in the occupied territories. Kerry said the United States opposes all the settlements regardless of when they are built, but that they should not deter the peace process.
But, here's the but. That said, Prime Minister Netanyahu was completely upfront with me and with President Abbas that he would be announcing some additional building that would take place in places that will not affect the peace map.
Israelis say they are building on the territories they believe will be allotted to them in a final peace agreement. Kerry said that is why it is urgent to reach an agreement on borders between Israel and the future Palestinian state.
That's why these talks are pressed into this time period of 9 months. That's why we all understand there is urgency, as I said yesterday, to getting to the discussion of borders and security. If you resolve the borders of Israel, and you can only do that also resolving the security issues for Israel, you have resolved any questions about settlements, because then you know what is in Israel and what is not.
Senior Palestinian official Hanan Ashrawi accused Israel of deliberately undermining the peace talks.
The deliberate and willful sabotage of these talks and of any prospects of a genuine peace is embodied in Israel's escalated and persistent policy of settlement activity and settlement expansion. It's very clear that Israel once again is manipulating the process in order to create facts on the ground that would render negotiations entirely irrelevant because it would preempt their outcome and would dictate a one-sided outcome, which is Greater Israel.
But a conservative member of the Israeli parliament said construction of new housing has nothing to do with peace talks.
Opening the negotiation with the Palestinians doesn't contradict the fact that we need to build here in Judea and Samaria. This is our obligation and our right.
Days before the talks, Israel advanced the planning process for more than 3,000 housing units in the West Bank and East Jerusalem, areas Palestinians claim for their own future state. Building of such settlements has been one of the main reasons the last round of peace talks broke down in 2010. Israelis, for their part, are angry at Palestinians for frequent deadly attacks against them. Many have protested the release of prisoners they believe will continue attacking Israelis. Zlatica Hoke, VOA News, Washington.